What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Now, ladies and gentlemen, since we have finally pretty much ran through all the leaks from Modern Warfare 3, there's not really too much more information coming out. Of course, if something drops for X-Defined or more news from Modern Warfare 3 comes out, of course, I want to cover it. But for the time being, I would enjoy to sit back and actually cover the content that we got within Season 5 Reloaded and, really explain if this content is worth it or not. Now, the map I want to do on a specific video because I want to do some comparisons. I want to actually, hop back on some other maps because I thought it has a lot of similarities from other things that a lot of people enjoyed in the past, even though current date, they don't really like it right now, apparently. But again, that's a different video for a different day. Today, I want to put a hyper focus on the two weapons. I say two because, technically, yeah, we did get 3 weapons, but one of them is a melee weapon, and I'll be real, I don't care about any melee weapons. I don't even run around with a knife as a secondary. And if I did, I would probably just use a basic knife. It's not that big of a deal to me. So having stuff like, I don't know, what is it, a crowbar or something? I truthfully don't care. I truthfully don't care. I know some people might enjoy it, and that's fine. But for me personally, when it comes to Call of Duty games, I'm more into the gunplay, if I should say. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I do want to go ahead and start off with the SMG, the Latchman Shroud. Now, I have put in a lot of time with this weapon, and you could probably see it in the gameplay right here. I'm showcasing it off a bit. I'll be real. Again, when it comes to Infinity Ward adding a new content, I can't wrap my mind around the fact that they continuously bring in the same type of weapons over and over and over again. I mean, we just got the M13C, which is literally the M13B, and I made a video about that one as well. I compared it, and I basically came to the conclusion that it's not really anything special. It's a cool gun, but you can literally turn the M13B into the M13C whenever you feel like. You don't need a whole new blueprint for it. And here we are again with the same exact thing. We have the Latchman Shroud, which is literally a burst MP5. That's all it is. So instead of having like a burst feature or, an attachment like back in the day with Black Ops 2 where you can change the fire rate of your weapon with an attachment, instead of doing something like that for the MP5, they decided, you know what, let's just go ahead and add in a quote-unquote brand new gun, right? A brand new weapon. But let's just make it the MP5 in burst mode. But, of course, even though it's just an MP5 burst, I'm sure they did enough to it to make it feel a bit different, and they did. I will be honest, the Latchman Shroud does feel like a pretty unique weapon, even though when I use it, it literally, I can't get past the visuals of it being the MP5, so it's so hard to use it with, with the mindset that's something different, but it does still feel a bit different. But I will say this right here, right now, this gun does not compete with any of the other SMGs, and it's realistically not really worth your time. Now, I shouldn't say it's not worth your time, because it's a weapon that you can unlock that will be fun. It's one of those guns that you can, obviously put on your class and mess around with and get some good games. But when you run into some real competition, some actual sweats who know what they're doing and know how to actually perform, it's not the gun that you want to bring on the battlefield. I'll tell you that right now. It's a burst, and when you think of, an SMG, you don't think of something that's supposed to burst up close and personal, and when the gun does burst, it's supposed to either have, A, an extremely fast fire rate, or B, a decent enough damage, but honestly, it's always about fire rate in my personal opinion, right? That's what literally helps SMGs stand out from ARs. It's why SMGs can outbeat ARs at close range. If it wasn't for the fire rate of some of these SMGs, ARs would always be dominant because they just have crazy damage. Why would you use anything that doesn't have the damage of an assault rifle? Because you get the benefit of the quickness, the fast-pacedness of a submachine gun. But this gun just does not have it. It's very inconsistent, and again, like I said, compared to any other SMG in this game, it's not going to compete. It's going to be something that's fun. It's a little quirky gun to put on a class to mess around, when you're pulling out classes with these insane looking scopes and these weird, crazy looking builds to just goof around and, have people look at the kill cams and say, what the heck is that? That's kind of what this gun is for, in my personal opinion. I don't think anybody's going to realistically use this religiously as one of their main weapons. Maybe some people out there, because it is fun. I'm not going to lie. It's an enjoyable weapon, but like I said, when it comes to competition, sweatiness, trying to compete, and winning more engagements up close and personal, it's not your gun. But what I did find out is that this gun is actually a pretty decent AR. I think that the Shroud is a much better assault rifle than it is an SMG. Now, I actually have a class, I'll put it up on the screen right here, and you've actually been watching my AR build of this gun on this gameplay here, and you've been watching me absolutely beam kids across the map. It's completely absurd. Basically, I'm rocking I think it's one of the last barrels. You'll see the names of everything. The 170mm grapple barrel, the F-Tac Tiger grip, the 40-round mag, a red dot. Again, that is completely optional to you. If you guys want to put on maybe a rear grip for more recoil control, whatever you want. Personally, I think on this, for a regular MP5, I don't need a red dot, but when it comes to the burst, I need as much accuracy as I can get because, again, it's a burst gun, and it's an SMG. Even though I'm building it as an AR, it's still an SMG, so I need to land shots. You have to. There's no if, buts, ands. You have to land shots, or it's just going to be a completely useless gun. And then I'm using, I can't even see it, man, the 56 factory stock. You'll see it once you go ahead and load up the game and put this gun on your class. But this is how I would suggest you guys to use this gun. With all reality, it could pretty much... I've gotten one bursts across the map with this weapon. Okay, and again, it's a submachine gun, but I'm getting one bursts. And the reason why I like the AR build is because it gives me that Honey Badger feel. You know, I like a lot of guns, like ARs, for example, like the FFAR, the Honey Badger, which are fantastic assault rifles, but they're also fantastic at close range as well. They're a nice little middle ground. That's what this build is right here for the Shroud. It's an SMG still, so even with all these long range and recoil attachments, the ADS is still not completely awful because at the end of the day, it's a small submachine gun. But with these recoil attachments and with these range attachments, it gives you the damage that will help you compete against assault rifles. Now, would I pick this over other ARs? No, I wouldn't. But again, as a quirky weapon, if you want to pull something else that's, a little trolly and you want to piss people off by getting some one bursts, then by all means, that's the class. But consistency-wise, it's just not worth it. And again, I simply can't wrap my head around the fact that they brought in the Latchman again. They could have added in any other gun, but they didn't. But I guess at the end of the day, my final review is maybe quicken up the fire rate. I think that would encourage me to use it as an SMG a little bit more, is if I can actually shoot it more consistently, faster, and consistency. Consistency is the word that we're looking for. That is key. But believe it or not, the trophy weapon that has been introduced with the mid-season event is the JbowenDaMan pistol. Again, I really thought that the SMG was going to reign supreme, but it just wasn't really what I feel like I expected and what a lot of others expected as well. I thought we were going to get something like, what was the one gun from Black Ops 4, that one burst? They've always had burst SMGs in some of these Call of Duty games, and they were always pretty darn decent. But again, this one, it just really went under the radar, and it didn't get the love that it really needed. But when it comes to the JbowenDaMan, or however you pronounce it, this is where the action is when it comes to this update, which, again, I'm kind of disappointed because I don't really care for secondaries. I didn't want to run around with the secondary, and I don't plan on doing so. But this gun hits. It hits really hard. I think a lot of people are comparing this gun to the 1911, which, again, you guys can make up your own opinion. But this thing is just a demon machine. It's a demon machine right out the box without any attachments, and with attachments, it just gets even better. As you can see, this is my setup right here for the 9mm JbowenDaMan. I have the FT competition barrel, which basically completely replaces the optic and it removes the muzzle altogether with the gun, but it gives you better damage range, and I think it gives you a little recoil control, so on and so forth. I thought I weighed the pros and the cons, and this seems like a better alternative. And I also don't need a red dot. I put on the FJX laser, the rapid 3D trigger, 9mm overpressured ammunition, which basically adds flinch to the enemy targets, because when I use my pistols, especially if you're going to be maining the pistol, you need some advantages. You really do need advantages, because it doesn't matter how good the pistol is. If you're versing someone with an assault rifle or SMG or anything, it's going to be a pain in the butt. Even if it's an SMG up close, it's still going to be a pain in the butt. So to add a bit of flinch to your target is always a plus. And then the Razor Leaf grip as the final one here. Basically, I tried to balance out this pistol with adding damage and adding a ton of recoil control, because obviously it's a pistol. It's not going to have slowed ADS speeds no matter how many attachments you put on it. So I basically decked it out for all damage, all recoil. And let me tell you, when you get it decked out, this thing is honestly worth it. I have topped leaderboards time and time and time again. OBJ game modes, or regular team deathmatch, whatever you could possibly think of, this pistol puts in work. Even in Warzone, where you have tons of armor and a lot more health, it still shreds through people. This gun right here is probably the all-star of this mid-season update, which, again, is just so lackluster in my opinion. I hate the lack of effort that these developers are putting forth. And you could tell that they're losing passion, or they're winding down, because the stuff that they're putting in this game is pointless. The new SMG could have easily been a, fire rate mod or a fire rate attachment. Easily. That's all it could have been, because we already have a gunsmith. I can turn the MP5 into more of a longer range gun. Well, basically, you turn the AR version of the latch into an SMG, and that makes it the MP5, right? It's like, there was no reason to then take the SMG version and then make it a burst fire. I guess it's unique enough because, again, like I said, if you want to deck it out like an assault rifle, that's where it shines. Because even though it's an SMG, the difference here, let me try to explain this the best way I can so you can understand it. The difference is that you can't turn, the latch into an MP5 or long range, because the latch is already an assault rifle. So if you turn it into an MP5, you can't turn it into an MP5 and then obviously, try to put on some more longer range. Now, this burst weapon right here is a good addition, partially because it gives you an SMG platform. It's already a base SMG, and then you deck it out with a ton of assault rifle attachments, or long range attachments. I don't know why I call it assault rifle attachments, basically because you're going to be going up against assault rifles. But that's where this weapon shines. But that's not enough, in my opinion. When you add in a new gun, it's supposed to be unique in its own way and not replicated from another platform. If they really wanted to do this, if they really wanted to go the multiple platform way when it comes to their gunsmith, they should have laid this stuff out at launch. At launch, we should have had all these different versions of the MP5 out, all these different versions of the AK. Every gun should already have all of these things already unlocked. We shouldn't be getting quote unquote brand new content that's just a different version of a previous gun that we already have with a burst mod on it. To me, it's unacceptable. I don't know about you guys. You guys might share a different opinion here, but I don't like that. It's already rough enough that I hear that Modern Warfare 3 has no new maps, and there's a lot of people defending this. I don't know, man. I get it. It's great that we're going to have OG classics that are going to be reliable right out the gate. But no new content in a full $70 game is just a complete ripoff, in my personal opinion. That's a robbery. You're not getting anything new in a game that is being advertised as a new game. Like, I don't know. It doesn't balance out. And the same thing is here when it comes to these weapons. It's not like it's anything new. We're not getting new content. They're advertising as new content, but we're not. And honestly, all of this new content, the M13C and the Latch SMG here, the Phantom, both of them just, they don't carry the weight. They don't carry the weight of having a brand new AR or a brand new SMG. They literally feel like just different versions of their previous platform that's already in the game that serve no other purpose, because those previous platforms can already be turned into that gun if you want to. That's just my take on the overall thing here. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, that's my opinion on these weapons here. I gave you guys my class setups. I hope you try them out. Let me know what you guys think. I think I decked them out in the best way that I could possibly can. Like I said, you could use this thing as an SMG, the Latch Phantom, but it's not worth it. It's much better as an AR, and just to use other SMGs if you want to run up close and personal. And for the pistol, this thing's really fun. I enjoy using the pistol. I think it's kind of funny running around and just clapping people with it because it gets them a little salty. So if you're looking for a nice sidearm, I think the way I have this thing decked out is pretty nice. Again, it's a pistol. It doesn't have bad ADS times, so you don't need to deck it out with ADS attachments. Just get some recoil stuff, damage stuff, and I think you'll really enjoy it. But as always, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, leave a dislike if you hated it. Also, if you enjoyed the commentary, don't forget to go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell. We post daily over here at around 8 in the morning Eastern time every single day. So subscribe, hit that bell notification button. You'll be notified on all the commentaries, live gameplays, comparisons, all the stuff we have in store for you guys. And last but not least, we do stream every day, but I'm going to be gone for a couple of days. So I won't be live on Sunday and I won't be live on Monday, but on Tuesday, we will be returning on Kick. So if you guys want to catch some live streams, get some good vibes, hang out with the community, I have the link to my Kick channel. And I also have links to all my other socials like Twitter and Discord as well down in the description of this video. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.